Big news from the NBA ahead of the draft on Wednesday. The Knicks have added another former Villanova player to join their other three. Adrian Wojnarowski reports that the Knicks sent a bunch of assets to Brooklyn to acquire Mikal Bridges from the Nets. The Nets get Bogdan Bogdanović, 4 unprotected first-round picks, a protected first-round pick via the Bucks, an unprotected pick swap, plus a second-rounder for Mikal Bridges. Bridges has been the consummate professional in his career. He's asked to defend the best players on a nightly basis and has improved his scoring over the last 2 seasons. Last year, he averaged nearly 20 points per game, the 3rd highest scoring average by a player with at least 800 defensive matchups against All-Stars. Bridges, with a real succinct reaction to the trade on social media, saying simply, "This is crazy, LOL." Meanwhile, Josh Hart, one of those Villanova Knicks, expressed his excitement by posting a picture of all 4 former Villanova teammates on a group video chat. Jalen, Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Bridges, and Hart, all there. As we mentioned, Adrian Wojnarowski broke this story, and he joins us now on Sportscenter. They really do love those Villanova guys with the Knicks, Woj. How did this come about for New York?
Stan, the Knicks were determined to acquire Mikal Bridges, and they have been gathering up draft assets for years to get into the position to overwhelm somebody with an offer for a player they very much wanted. They didn't do it with Donovan Mitchell 2 years ago, but they did it today for Mikal Bridges. And what the Knicks are doing is trying to load up on big-time two-way wing players to take on the NBA champion Boston Celtics in the East. They get one with Mikal Bridges, and now they'll try to re-sign OG Anunoby, to bring back against the Celtics next year a group that can certainly score and, more importantly, guard that team. But there were other teams who wanted to get at Mikal Bridges. He has been a coveted asset around the league, just one of the really unique, versatile player who just fits anywhere. And now the 4 Villanova players are back together, 2 national championships at Villanova, and now they'll try to win a championship in New York.
So you mentioned Anunoby. He's a free agent. So is Isaiah Hartenstein. What does this mean for him?
Listen, the Knicks are going to be aggressive in keeping OG Anunoby. It's going to be much more difficult, though, now for them to be able to pay and keep Isaiah Hartenstein. They have Mitchell Robinson on their roster, but the marketplace and what's available to Hartenstein out there may beat the Knicks, but certainly they want to bring back OG Anunoby and certainly have the opportunity to do that. But landing Mikal Bridges, in a league where he was, again, coveted in both the Eastern and Western Conference, significant. And if you're the Knicks and you're trying to do a trade with the Nets, you're probably not winning a tiebreaker. You had to overwhelm the others who were pursuing them, and Leon Rose and the Knicks did that tonight. 4 unprotected first-round picks, a pick that they have from Milwaukee in 2025, pick swap, a second round. They paid a steep price to Brooklyn for Mikal Bridges.
So now what's the thinking in Brooklyn now that they have all these picks?
16 first-round picks now in Brooklyn through 2031. They did another deal tonight with the Houston Rockets, I'm told. They got back their own picks from the James Harden trade, and they sent the Rockets 2 of the picks they have from the Phoenix Suns. And now the Nets are in position. Look at the 2025 draft, which is loaded. There is real star power in next year's draft. The Nets have 4 first-round picks potentially in that draft. And, take a look at what their roster may look like. They may be very well competing, to be at the very top of that lottery. And so I think when the Nets really didn't see in the marketplace a chance to bring back a star player right now who they could pair with Mikal Bridges, it became a situation where they looked to see what was available out there. They knew Bridges, the idea of playing with the Knicks appealed to them. The Knicks know, even with a couple years left on his deal, they'll have every opportunity to be able to keep Bridges long term. But the Nets, you go back to the Kevin Durant trade, the Kyrie Irving trade, they brought back 9 first-round picks from those deals, pick swaps, and they may still bring in more assets before the draft is over tomorrow night. The Nets are really in tremendous position now to rebuild this organization. You saw Sean Marks do it once when he first took over with the Nets with far less draft assets. And now Joe Tsai, their owner, will look to him, to do this again. They kind of were 1 foot in, 1 foot out with Bridges, but the Nets have a clear direction now, and they are loaded going forward with draft assets.
One more thing we saw you post, Woj, about the situation with the Rockets and their interest in Kevin Durant. Can you clarify some of that for us?
Yeah, listen, now that the Rockets have the Suns' first-round picks, if there comes a time when Phoenix, can't go, doesn't go forward with this group, if this group has to disassemble at some point, Houston's a team now, whether it's Kevin Durant, but I think even more so a younger Devin Booker, who's I think timeline fits with this Houston team. The Rockets are in position now if they want to pursue players on that Suns team. But right now, Phoenix, they want to run this team back this season. They're determined to win with this group. But certainly for Houston now, it just gives them an arsenal in the future if something does change in Phoenix.
All right, but the big news, Mikal Bridges heading across the bridge from the Nets to the Knicks. If it's happening in the NBA, Adrian Wojnarowski is on it. Woj, we always appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports here. Breaking news. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this by now. Mikal freaking Bridges is on the New York Knicks. Former running mates of DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson, and one Josh Hart. So now all these guys are on the New York Knicks. That's cool. That's really cool. But the next priority is OG Anunoby, right? I'll get to that in a minute. So Mikal Bridges is a star. I wouldn't say superstar, I'd say a star. Averaged 19.6 last season, 26.6 the previous season. So you gave up 6 to 7 first rounders or something like that, something crazy like that, and to get Mikal Bridges. And you also traded Bogdanovich. You also traded him. Now, I was discussing that with a buddy, right? To me, it sounds like a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. New York Knicks are on another level right now. If they can sign OG Anunoby, they are on another level, 100%. God only knows what's to come in the next, 4 or 5 days. This is incredible. We haven't even reached the NBA draft. We haven't even reached July 1st, and here we are, right? So, unbelievable news coming from New York, Brooklyn, and New York Knicks. But like I said, to me, it seems like a lot. It seems like a lot. It's an overhaul. So you gave up, I think it was like 2 first rounders or something to get OG Anunoby. You gave up, 7, 8 picks to get Mikal Bridges. So now you got that, but OG Anunoby is a free agent, so that should be your top priority. Isaiah Hartenstein is rumored to actually be sought out by one Orlando Magic and one OKC Thunder. Can the New York Knicks afford this guy? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So now you got to take a closer look at whose salary you want to shed, right? If I'm a betting man, I'd have to say Julius Randle. I like Julius Randle. He's awesome, right? But the fact remains is, if you want to keep the current roster and Mikal Bridges, you got to get rid of somebody. You have to. There's no other choice. You have to get rid of somebody. I don't know what the deal here is, but all signs kind of point towards Julius Randle. I'm not saying to trade him. I'm just saying all signs point to him, right? So bottom line here is, New York Knicks gave up a lot. I mean, you could have sent something over to the Brooklyn Nets and shed some salary too. I know you sent off Bogdanovich. I can't remember what he was making, but at the end of the day, you got to do something with the tax and you got to do something with the money. But aside from that, the New York Knicks look very damn good. You only saw what they did in the playoffs this year. Just imagine what they're going to do in the playoffs next year. This team is a team to be reckoned with, 100%. If they keep OG Anunoby, this guy is awesome. I said it before, the most sought out defensive player, I think, in the NBA, right now, 100%. But bottom line is, New York Knicks look very good, 100% they do, and who knows, right? They came this close to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, fell short of the Indiana Pacers, but you never know what happens in the future. Now let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets here. Brooklyn Nets appear to be very, very in the rebuilding phase. They got all these picks from Phoenix. They got all these picks from New York Knicks. And now, pretty much, I read somewhere that in return for Kevin Durant, you got 8 first-rounders. Unbelievable, right? And speaking of Kevin Durant, now Houston made a really good trade by trading away a couple picks in exchange for another couple picks. But what they want to do is they want to target somebody by sending over a lot of picks to that team to get Kevin Durant. That is the rumor. That is the rumor. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that is the rumor. So right now, Kevin Durant is still a Phoenix Sun. Will that change in the on-season? Who knows, right? Will that change in by NBA trade deadline? Who knows, right? Because Phoenix, they didn't live up to expectations. Let's just call it what it is. They did not do that. But if that's 2 years in a row, that's a big pill to swallow, right? Because you can't be doing that. The amount of talent you have on that team, you got to produce, right? You have to produce. And considering the fact that you have the most, I wouldn't say dominant right now, I'd say one of the most elite scorers in NBA history in Kevin Durant, you got to do something, right? So Houston is going to up the ante again and again and again and again until they get Kevin Durant. Let's just call it what it is. It's going to happen, right? I'm not saying he's going to get traded there. I'm just saying that the Houston Rockets are going to up their ante by continuing to pursue Kevin Durant, right? But the bottom line here is, I know I went off a tangent because there's so much going on right now. It's hard to keep track. Woj this, Shams that, Jaggy Sports this. You got to do it. So New York Knicks, they look very good. They got to do something about their salary now. I don't know who they're going to keep. Their top priority is OG Anunoby. They got to get Hartenstein back because he's a big and he did very well in the playoffs. He did very well in the regular season. You got to keep him. You got to keep OG Anunoby. But you got to get rid of one person. Who's that going to be? Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you guys think about this trade. Mikal Bridges to the New York Knicks. Who are they going to get rid of? And where is this person going to go? Leave a comment in the comment section. As always, Jag from Jaggy Sports.